Alright, we're on section 9.2, estimating and drawing angles. We are tomorrow going to do a paper plate activity. It is on page 474, so I'll get more information to you tomorrow. It's just cutting up a paper plate to help with our estimation. So this first part is going to be difficult to do. What we're trying to do tomorrow is going to be using those wedges that we're going to create with the measurements on them to help us understand how to estimate what these measurements are. And the obvious parts are knowing that a 90-degree angle that this creates, that it is greater than that. Now it's a matter of estimating it from there. Same thing for this one. We've got our 90-degree angle. It looks like it's about half of that 90-degree angle. So what's half of 90? 45. So this would be estimated to like 45 degrees. But again, I'm going to give you a tool to help you in using that estimation to familiarize ourselves with it. In this case, obviously, it is a 90-degree angle. So what I want you to do for the first part is I'm going to let you hit pause and go ahead and copy this down. This right here is the number 0. Okay, so go ahead and copy this down. Alright, it says steps for drawing an angle. It says first part is draw a ray and mark the vertex. Okay, that's simply drawing a line, or a ray, excuse me, it is a ray, and starting at one point and drawing it, and do put an arrow at the end. The other point is going to have a dot. That is our vertex. The second part says place the center point of the protractor on the vertex. Align the mark labeled 0 on the protractor with the line you have drawn. Mark the degree measure you are trying to find. Then draw a line from the vertex to the point you marked. Draw an angle with the measure of 68, and there should be a degree sign on that. So my next part now is simply taking a protractor and lining it up as they made reference to on here, and it says place the center point of the protractor, that's this point, align the mark labeled 0. This is the line that's 0 right here. Okay, so we're going to move this down here, put it on our vertex, and then what we have to make sure is that this right here is lined up. Okay, it could be you see the 0 here, and there's a 0 there. That's basically that line is what you're trying to line up. Okay, now we're going to be able to take our pencil and align the take your pencil and mark the degree measure you're trying to find. So we're trying to find 68 degrees. So once again, we need to remember, are we less than 90 or greater than 90? And obviously 68 degrees is less than 90. So because of the way this is drawn, we've got to make sure that this is going to be, and I need to get this off of there. Let me restart. We need to make sure that our line is less than that 90 degrees. So we're going to use the numbers that are the smaller numbers. Okay? If our line was going in the other direction, then we'd be able to use these numbers on the outside. Okay? We'll be reiterating that many times through the course of this lesson and anytime we're dealing with that. So between 60 and 70 is where we're looking. Okay, so we're going to have to go out here to the top because the 130 is really our 50 degree, and our line over here for the 120 is actually our 60. You can see how it extends through. So we are looking between 60 and 70, so we've got to go all the way up here to our 110. So between 110 and that 120, which is really our 60 and our 70, okay? And so we can count forward 8 marks, or we can count back 2 marks from 70. It doesn't matter which way. And you're just going to simply make a mark right here, like I am, and then we're going to move my protractor out of the way, okay? You can then use this protractor, okay, to be able to use it as a straight edge. So we're going to use that protractor back in here a little bit, and it's a little more difficult for me, but I'm going to use it to line it up and place it so that it hits that mark and the vertex. And when you do that, then you can take your line and start from here and move it all the way up so it goes through that point, okay, and then put an arrow on the end. That has now drawn a 68-degree angle. Okay, so let's try some more. I'm going to let you go ahead and if you have a protractor at home, you can do that. If you don't have one at home, then obviously you're going to have to wait till tomorrow. Go ahead and try it. Alright, so for this, I'm going to move my protractor out of the way. Again, I need to draw a line. Okay, it can go to the left, it can go to the right, it doesn't matter. We're going to start with just drawing it to the right. Most of us always do it that way. Maybe if you're left-handed, you draw it left. I'm not sure. So let's go ahead now. Place this on the vertex. Okay, this point right here is what goes on the vertex. You need to make sure yours is lined up. Okay, if your protractor's like this, it isn't going to work. It's got to be lined up with the 0 and 180, so it's right on that line. Okay, now we can find 105 degrees. Now again, here's my 90. Is it greater or is it less? Well, in this case, obviously 105 is greater. So we're going to be looking at these numbers right here. Actually, between 110 and 100 is what we're going to look at. So now we're going to simply look for 105. So this would be 100 up here. This is going to be 110. So halfway between is going to give me my 105. Okay. Now I can take my protractor and I can pretty much line it up with those as well as I can. Okay, and then you're going to use your straight edge and the pencil and draw that line and put it right through there, put the arrow on it, and now you've drawn a 105-degree angle. Okay, and again, always go back and look. Is it greater than 90? Sometimes we forget and we draw the line, then we got to set back and say, all right, does this make sense? Is it within reason? Is it less than or greater than that 90 degrees? In this case, it is. And one more. We're going to do an 85-degree angle. So again, you can hit pause and then do this. Draw your line. This time I'm going to go ahead and do it the other way just for something different. So we've got our line. It's drawn in that manner. And we're going to take my protractor and I'm going to bring it down and set it on the vertex, and then I'm going to have to straighten this up so that it lies on that line. Okay, and you can see right here that it's got to be on the 0. Not letting me do it. And it is. So now we've got to take my 85 degrees, and since it is pointing in this direction, I am going to use these numbers that are on the outside. So here's my 90, here's my 80, and there's 85 right in the middle of those. Put a dot. Now I can move this off of here, and I can turn this to try to line it up, and there it lines up. I'm going to use a pencil on the straight edge, start with that point, and draw that line straight through it with an arrow. And then you end up with an 85-degree angle. And again, take a look. Make sure it is less than 90 if my answer up here is less than 90. Okay. Again, there's a lot more of this that we're going to do tomorrow, and you'll have an opportunity to try these. If you don't have a protractor, you're going to get that chance tomorrow. So have a great night, and we'll see you on Friday.